Hi guys, my name is Terry. In this video, I'm going to go through the SPM trial exam paper for additional mathematics, and this is for Sekolah Berasrama Penuh SBP paper 1. So I'll explain the question and discuss in mixture of Bahasa and English. So let's begin with question 1. So Raja menunjukkan graf garis lurus yang diperoleh dengan memplotkan x1 lawan x plus y. So we are supposed to ungkapkan y dalam sebutan x, or we say express y in terms of x. So first step is we're going to find the gradient or your keturunan by using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this will be 8 minus 2, 6. 6 divided by -3, answer is -2. So to find your y in terms of x, we need to first find our y-intercept or your pintasan yt. We can do so by using y equals to mx plus c. Be sure we use capital Y because your capital Y represents the variable in your y-axis and your capital X represents the variable in your x-axis. So to find the value c, we just sub in a coordinate. We can say sub or gantikan, a coordinate. We can choose any point. Here I choose 6 and 2. That means your y is 2, your x is 6, right? So bring it over. Your c is 2 plus 12, c is 14. So my big y is now minus 2x plus 14. Okay, your big y here is now xy. Your big x here is now x plus y. There is a plus 14 at the back. We're supposed to make y as the subject. Yeah, we are looking for ungkapan y dalam sebutan x. So let us expand this minus 2x minus 2y plus 14. Bring the y to the same side. Here I will bring my y to the left-hand side. So I have x. You can write 2y plus x. You can write x 2y plus xy, or the other way around, doesn't matter. But normally we put the negative at the back. So in this case, I put minus 2x at the back of 14. And since I can factorize this, I'm going to take out my y, whether you put in front at the back doesn't matter. Maybe it looks better if I put the y in front. So this is 14 minus 2x. Therefore, last step, your answer will be y equals to 14 minus 2x divided by 2 plus x. Yeah, there you go. You got your y dalam sebutan x. Number 2, this is from the chapter Quadratic Equation or Persamaan Kuadratik. Diberi bahawa persamaan kuadratik P plus 1 x square plus 2 qx plus 3 dengan keadaan P dan Q ialah pemalah mempunyai dua nilai, dua punca nyata dan sama. Dua punca nyata sama means real and equal root, or we say our b square minus 4ac value should be equal to 0. Now, I hope you know how to identify your ABC here. Your A will be, in this case, P plus 1. Your B is your 2q, and your C is now 3. So I'm going to do it over here. We use the formula b squared minus 4ac. Your b is 2q. You square it, minus 4. Your a is now b plus 1, and your c is now 3. The whole thing is now equal to 0. So what we can do is we can square this first. Yeah, so 2 squared is 4, q squared. It is up to you whether you want to expand this first. So you can actually divide by 4 first. If you expand, this will be minus 2 minus 12b minus 12 equals 0. Bring to the right-hand side. So I'm finding p in terms of q. P dalam sebutan q. So we want to bring the p to the right-hand side here, right? So you have 4q squared minus 12 equals to 12p. Now notice we can divide by 3, or in this case, divide by 4. Your 3p equals to q squared minus 3. When you divide by 3, you can write q squared minus 3 over 3, like this, right? Or you can write, divide your 3 over 3, write this as 1 over 3q squared minus 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. There you go. You got your p in terms of q, or p dalam sebutan q. Okay, question number 3. This is still from chapter 2, Quadratic Equation, Persamaan Kuadratik. So, diberi persamaan Kuadratik mx square plus m minus 2x plus 3m plus 2 dengan m ialah integer bukan sifar, cari nilai m dengan keadaan satu punca ialah salingan punca yang satu lagi. Salingan it means reciprocal 1 over. So we don't know what's the punca or the roots. So let the root be, you can write root, punca, doesn't matter, alpha, and the second one salingan is 1 over alpha. Now here's the thing, we know in this type of situation we have to use SOR, POR. Your SOR will be alpha plus beta equals to minus b over a. If here your a is m, your b is m minus 2, and your c is 3m plus 2. So if you use negative b, b is m minus 2 over a. You realize that you actually cannot solve this because they are two unknown. Yeah. And what are we finding here? We are finding for nilai m, cari nilai m, so we're finding m. So SOR cannot work, so we leave it out. Let's work on POR. Now your POR will be product of root or hasil darab punca, alpha times 1 over alpha equals to c over a. My c is 3m plus 2 over a. A is m. So when it says we can cancel alpha and alpha, you're left with 1 here. This is 3m plus 2 over m. Let us multiply over m is 3m plus 2. Bring over 2m equals to negative 2. I'm bringing this to the right, bringing this to the left. My m is now negative 1. Okay, so do you need to find alpha? No, we are just finding the value m. So we can stop here. So the SOR here, if you don't want to write, is okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't help us to find the value m. Okay, moving on to B. I'm going to do part B down here. Graph fungsi kuadratik fx equals negative x square plus 2px minus 5p, di mana p ialah pemalang merupakan nilai maksimum 6. Right? So, they say dengan menggunakan kaedah penyempurnan kuasa 2, you got to complete the square, cari nilai mungkin bagi p. Okay, find the possible value p. So, well, let me start here. We are supposed to complete the square. All right, so step 1 to complete the square is always take out the negative or any number in front of x squared. We want the coefficient of x squared or perkali x squared to be 1. Okay, so when you take out negative, this is negative 2px. The 5 here, we can leave it outside. Negative 5p, leave it outside. It's not affecting the process of completing the square. Now, next, we're going to add a number. That number should be half of minus 2px. Okay, so let's write minus 2px, you divide by 2, and you got to square it, then you minus it off. Okay, keep the minus 5p outside. Now, the first 3 terms that we have here, we can actually factorize. So I don't write a lot, work a lot of steps, because negative 2p divided by 2 is just negative p here. So this we can write minus x minus p squared. And this negative p, imagine this negative p, when I square it, it becomes positive p squared. However, I still have another negative in front here. You're going to maintain that negative. All right. So you close your bracket, minus 5p. Okay, next, what we're going to do is we're going to take this negative here and multiply inside 1 by 1. So as I times in, this is negative x minus p squared positive p squared minus 5p, and there you go. That is your fx. Okay, but we are not done yet. We need to find, let's continue here. We need to find the value of p. It is given that it has nilai maximum of 6. So remember, the maximum minimum is the one outside the bracket. This is your maximum, right? When the one inside the bracket is 0. So we don't need to find the one inside the bracket. We need to find the one outside the bracket. This is your maximum. I know it's maximum because your a is less than 0, right? So let us take the maximum p squared minus p and equate it with 6. Rearrange the 6, bring the 6 to the left. We can double bracket factorize factor of 6 to get 5. In this case, because this is the minus, because this is the minus, we should take different. That means 6 minus 1. If it's the plus, we should take 2 and 3. 2 plus 3, 5. If this minus, we have to take 6 minus 1. And in this case, to get negative 5, 6 must be minus, 1 must be positive. P is negative 1 or 6. And that's all for this part. They say find possible value or cari nilai yang mungkin. So we have to take both answers, right? This is Roman 1, Roman 2. Graph y equals gx ialah pantulan graph y equals fx pada pasti x. Dengan menggunakan nilai positif from 3b Roman 1 to this fungsi gx. Okay, your fungsi for fx, we already have it. Actually, we can use either the first function here or the second one that we have already completed, the square. So we can only take the positive value. So we're going to take p equals to 6. We start inside your fx. So this is negative bracket. Oops. This is x minus 6. So it's x plus 6 square. Wait. X minus 6. This is a positive. X minus p is positive 6 square. And then you have a 6 square minus 5 times 6. 6 square is 36. 36 minus 30, you will get also 6. This is also 6. Okay, so this is the graph of fx, right? Now, fx originally is a graph like this, the maximum graph, right? You don't have to sketch it, just so you know that your maximum is 6 when your x is also 6. The moment you reflect it on the x-axis, so okay, let me draw the x-axis over here. What happened is the graph is now flipped upside down. The axis of symmetry remains the same at 6, so it doesn't change. But what has changed is 2 things. Number 1, you have a maximum value, a minimum value. In order to have a minimum value, we cannot put a negative in front. It has to be positive. So we multiply positive, it becomes positive 1, don't need to write 1. And then instead of having a vertex at 6, the vertex, right, is now at negative 6. Your minimum value is at negative 6. So the, what do you call that? Fungsi, or the function of gx is now this, bracket x minus 6 square minus 6. Okay, question number 4. So in this question, you're given, okay, maybe I read it in bahasa, sorry. Raja menunjukkan 3 garis lurus, right? Garis lurus BC berserenjang dengan AB. BC berserenjang means perpendicular, 90 degree, 90 darjah. Dan selari dengan garis lurus AD. Selari means parallel, these two are parallel. Okay, so diberi koordinat BC masing-masing ialah 06, 06, and 3030 here. Cari koordinat A and B. So we know when you have perpendicular and parallel lines, we have to use the idea of m1.m2 equals -1 and m1 equals m2 for parallel. Perpendicular, you times together, the gradient must be -1. But first, we need to find out what is the gradient of BC. Now, since I know B is my y-intercept. I know C is my x-intercept. So I'm going to use negative y-intercept over x-intercept. This is -2. All right. Now, BC is perpendicular to AB. All right, so A is my x-intercept. So there are many ways to do it. You can find gradient AB first, or we can just multiply straight away. As in, if you find gradient AB, we know gradient AB times gradient BC, the result must be -1. So gradient AB should be positive up. Okay, then A is your x-intercept. Remember, I'm using this formula again and again. Negative y-intercept over x-intercept of pintasan y divided by pintasan x. Yeah. So my y-intercept of pintasan y is -6. My x-intercept, I don't know. I write xin here. You can write pintx of pintasan x. The result is half. When you multiply, your x-intercept is -12. Therefore, your A is -12 still. Okay, but I still need to find my coordinate point D. Okay, now AD is parallel to AD, so the gradient must be the same. We can say gradient AD is also -2. Now I know my pintasan x, my x-intercept -12. right? And I need to find my pintasan y-intercept, which is your coordinate point D. We can use negative y-intercept divide negative 12. The result is -2. My y-intercept is -24. Therefore, your coordinate of point D, in this case, we write x first, followed by your y. Your y is -24. There you go. That's a coordinate of point A and D. Okay, this is just part A. We still have part B. So part B is a very simple question. They give us a part of a locus. Raja menunjukkan sebahagian dari locus B. Cari persamaan locus. To form the equation of locus, we know that this is a circle, right? And it has a constant distance of 10 units from point O. So we can can call the locus B. The distance from point O is constantly 10. Just use the formula for distance. X minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared, the result is 10. So x squared plus y squared equals to 10 squared. Actually, 10 squared is 100. You can actually stop here. If you want, you can bring the 100 to the left. There you go. That is your equation. Number 5, pasangan bertertib di bawah mewakili fungsi H(x), right? Cari nilai K. So if you have what we call ordered pairs of pasangan bertertib, you realize that it's very hard for us to see like data. You can either map it on an arrow diagram, gambar rajah mana, or you can use graph. Okay, so let me just map it on arrow diagram first. Minus 4, you have -3, you have -2, 1, and the last one is 1 plus K plus 1. Yeah, K plus 1. So -4, you can see your y value is 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it's basically 1, 2, 3. So -4 and K plus 1 map onto the same image, which is 3. -3 and -2 map onto the same image, which is 1, right? And 1 is mapped onto 2. So again, if you draw like this, wow, it's still a bit hard to see. So maybe I would use a graph form for you to see, because otherwise you couldn't figure out what is the function involved. Now you notice your x value has negative, start with -4, -3, -2, or you don't have -1 though, then you have 1, and you have a k plus 1, which I do not know where's k. Now, you have only 3 y values. The values are 3, 2, and 1. So 4 map onto 3, k plus 1, I don't know where is it, I'll leave it out. And then -3 map onto 1, right? Wait, -3 map onto 1. And then -2 map, wait a minute, -3, and I think I wrote this wrongly. -3 map onto 2, sorry. -3 map onto 2. So it's over here. -2 map onto 1. All right. And then you have 0, don't have here. 1 map onto 2 again. So you can see that actually this is going down. All right. And this one's supposed to be going up, like a modulus graph, right? So we know that this should be your k plus 1, because your k plus 1 map onto 3. Now, I know some people may find this a bit extremely hard to see, because the two values map onto the same value here, right? And you wouldn't be able to see whether it's a quadratic or a modulus. But it has to be a many-to-one relation, either a V shape or curve. But I can tell it's not a quadratic, because the quadratic, when you square it, the number is going to be very much bigger, right? You can see here, -4, you plus 1, -4, you plus 1. The moment you modulus it, you get 3, right? So, okay, this is k plus 1. K plus 1, you plus 1, the model, you modulus it, you get 3 as well. -3, you plus 1, you get 2. -2, you modulus it, get 2. And let me write 1, you plus 1, you get 2, modulus is still 2. -2, you plus 1, you get -1, you modulus it, get 1. Yeah, and so on, you can see. So in this case, we know the function is a modulus function, right? So in a way, we are actually solving part B first before we solve part A. I think. Yeah. So we know that the function, maybe I can write part B first, Roman 2. Dengan menggunakan kata tanda fungsi, tuliskan k check dalam sebutan x. So I know my k check is actually a modulus of x plus 1. Okay, then we go back to Roman 1. Use it. Cari nilai k. How to find k? We know that your modulus of k plus 1, right? Over here, it must be 3. So you can say k plus 1. Some of you may want to open up modulus plus minus. Actually, you don't need to do that up. So you can put a k plus 1, which is k plus 2. You don't have to put plus minus because the negative side, we already have it. It is at -4. So we take the positive side. Yeah. So k plus 2 is actually 3, k is 1. Okay, be careful. K is not this. K is another value. K is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is 2, right? So only 1 mark, so you can just write like this. Okay, so there you go. I got my Roman 2 and Roman 1 answer. Yeah, just 1 mark each. So you don't have to do a lot of working actually. If you're unsure, can you even use diagram like this? Yeah, because marks is only given for the final answer. Okay, next one. This is the inverse function. Okay, now you are given a function fx equals to x minus 3 squared plus 1 and x greater equals m supaya f inverse wujud. Okay, remember, this is a quadratic. Maybe I do a sketch for you. A quadratic graph here, it has a minimum value of 1 when x equals to 3. X equals to 3 is your x equals symmetry or Paxi symmetry. So it will actually cut, okay, don't where you cut the y is not important. It has the axis of symmetry or Paxi symmetry at x equals to 3 and minimum value is 1. But we know this is not a function, should I say this function doesn't have an inverse, yeah, f inverse that wujud, because it's a many to 1. Remember, you can cut across like this, horizontal line test, it will cut at 2 points. You have 2 x value that map onto 1 y value. So it's not, should I say, it doesn't have an inverse. So here what we can do is we can trim the graph. We can, what we call, restrict the domain. Okay, so in this case, actually, we can restrict the domain anywhere. We can cut here and say, okay, this is my m, right? Because the more cut here, the graph is only this part is a 1-to-1. Yes, hubungan 1 dengan 1, right? Or 1 kepada 1. If you cut here, for example, also can, sorry, this line also can, it's still 1-to-1. So you only end up having a shape like this. So it still have an inverse. But the smallest value I can cut is at 3. The moment I cut at 3, it looks like this. Now, what if I cut further to the left? So then, for example, I cut here. Then this is not a function. It doesn't have an inverse anymore because the moment it has a turning point, the moment it turns, then it becomes many to 1. You have 2x value mapped onto the same y value, hubungan y pada 1. So you cannot get any inverse, right? So maybe the question should say, tentukan nilai minimum. Yeah, because the smallest value of m, in this case, this is B, Roman 1, the smallest value m is at 3. We cut at the axis of symmetry. So I strongly encourage you guys to draw the graph. First, when you draw the graph, you can see, right? Then find the range of values of fx, cari julat nilai fx. You can see the smallest value fx at 1. So your julat for fx is fx greater equals to 1. Question number 6 is from the chapter Vector. Okay, debris PQ is 5,7, OQ is 2,3, and RS is K5. So, Shari, coordinate P. Okay, so if you want to find coordinate point P, you know your PQ, you know your OQ. So picture this. This is O. Let's say P is here, Q is here. So if I want to go from O to Q, coordinate is measured from point O. So I can go from O to Q, Q to B, right? O to Q, Q to B. So your resultant vector, right, or vector paduan is OP. So we can say OP is OQ plus PQ. But PQ is actually OQ plus QP, sorry. and QP is actually negative of PQ. So we can write OQ as 2, 3, QP is negative of 5, 7, put them together, negative 3, negative 4. All right, so that is part A. Simple. Oh, well, you need to write the coordinate. Your coordinate, you should write -3, -4. All right, in coordinate form, not in column vector. Column vector or vector larger, right? Okay, next, find unit vector. Vector unit dalam ROP. Vector unit or unit vector is a vector divided by its own magnitude. So if you're finding, we already know OP. If you're finding unit vector or vector unit for OP, you have to first find the magnitude. We take -3 squared plus -4 squared square root. This is going to give us 5. Okay. Now you can write many ways. You can write unit vector or vector unit, or you can write B with a cap. Yeah. So it's basically the vector divided by its own magnitude. You can write in any form. Since they give us in column vector or vector larger, so we can write vector larger like this, divide by 5. But normally we don't write divide by 5 like this. So we write multiply with 1/5. Now whether you want to times inside or not is up to you. Or you can write -3i minus 4j over 5 in I and j form also can. All right, that is part B. Part C, cari nilai K if jika RS berlari dengan PQ. If two vectors are parallel or selari, we say the first vector is a multiple of the second vector. Yeah, multiple means we put a lambda, a symbol. Normally we use lambda. You can use other symbol like K, but here we will have K, so we don't use K or H and so on. Okay, let's go back to your RS. Let me but I couldn't see my RS. My RS is K5, right? And my PQ is 5, 7. So basically we compare our I component. K is 5 lambda. You can call this equation 1. Compare our J component. 5 equals to 7 lambda. You can call this equation number 2. So let's take equation 2. Divide by 1, 1 divided by 2. I think 1 divided by 2 is easier. K divided by 5 is 5/7. Multiply over K is 25/7. Okay. Okay, next question. Question 7 is involving composite function or fungsi perubahan. So syarikat BIS mengadakan jualan besar-besaran sempena karnival jualan 99. Ya. 9/9. Semua telefon pintar yang dijual diberikan diskaun sebab jualan sebanyak 15%. Harga D selepas diskaun diberi oleh fungsi D P equals to 0.85P, di mana P adalah harga asal telefon. Ya. Intan bercadang membeli telefon pintar dari syarikat BIS oleh kerana beliau terpilih menjadi pelanggan ke 100,000 syarikat tersebut. Dia layak mendapat kupon RM20 bagi telefon pintar yang dibelinya. Harga K selepas diskaun diberikan harga K selepas diskaun kupon diberikan K oleh KP equals to P minus 20 ya. Ialah di mana P ialah harga asal telefon pintar. So Intan boleh menggunakan kedua-dua potongan harga. Tuliskan fungsi perubahan berdasarkan situasi berikut. So the first situation, situation 1, menggunakan diskaun jualan diikuti kupon. Okay, remember, you can use discount. Your discount function DP is 0.85P. You can use coupon. KP equals to P minus 20. But you can use whichever first, right? In the first situation, situation 1, menggunakan diskaun jualan diikuti kupon. That means D first, followed by K. So to write the composite function, we say K, D, P. P happens first, followed by K, right? So KDP is now putting D inside your K. Put this inside first, 0.85P. Then stop inside here and here. So 0.85P minus 20. So the first one, that means you get the discount first, then you subtract the coupon. Okay, second method. Menggunakan coupon diikuti discount harga. That means you use coupon first. Discount later coupon first. Okay, put the coupon inside, which is P minus 20. Then you get 15% off. So 0.85. Start inside here. Start inside here. 0.85 P minus 20. This would be 0.85 P minus 17. Now, if you're not sure, you can use your calculator. 0.85 times negative 20. Okay, there you go. Negative 17. All right. Okay. So now next thing is we got two values, two functions here. Okay, let's skip part B. They say seterusnya kirakan harga yang paling murah yang dibayar oleh Intan jika harga asal telefon pita 1899, 1899, berikan jawapan anda kepada RM yang terhampir. So we have two ways to count. Yeah, you either use discount first or use coupon first, but you can tell that using discount first is better. Right? Well, look at this. Whatever I get the price, I times 0.85, I minus 20. So actually minus more. It's cheaper. Second one, okay, I miss out a 5 here, 0.85B minus 70. This second one, I only minus 17 ringgit. So it's not worth it, right? The first one will have a better discount, a cheaper price. So which one will give us the cheaper price? Okay, let me move up here. Look at the question again. Kirakan harga, you have to use the first one. Huh? Okay, let me move this up so you can see the function for the first one. Okay, I'm going to calculate, okay, the lowest price. This will be not DKP, but KDP. So your KD of 1899 means we put 1899 inside your P, the original price here, then you minus 20. Okay, so let's take 0.85 times 1899, then you minus 20. There you go. My answer is 1594. Okay, so 1594. They say berikan jawapan kepada RM yang terhampir. Okay, so they say kirakan harga yang paling murah. That's it. The cheapest price is by using discount followed by coupon, and it's 1594. Okay, question number 8. This is Janjang or progression. In fact, to be exact, this is arithmetic progression, Janjang arithmetic. So diberi bahawa A ialah sebutan pertama and B ialah basis punya bagi suatu janjang arithmetic, tunjukkan bahawa hasil tambahan sebutan pertama diberi oleh this equation. Okay, so we know that for arithmetic progression, let's say the first term, I'm going to write over here. My first term Fn is A per term. Second term we put A plus D. Third term A plus 2D, and so on. Now, I don't have to write all. I just have to write the first three and maybe the last three. Okay, we know the last term will be A plus N minus 1D, right? The second last term will be A plus N minus 2D. The third last term will be A plus N minus 3D, and so on. So let's call this equation number 1. So to derive the formula or to menerbitkan this formula, you need to rearrange it. So I rearrange backwards, and instead of writing A start with A, I start with A plus N minus 1D. A plus N minus 1D, my last term. My second last term, A plus N minus 2D. My third last term will be A plus N minus 3D. With a dot dot dot. My third last term is A plus 2D. Second last term, A plus D. My last term will be A. Right? Why do I write this? So that when you take equation 1, you add the equation 2. Right? Sn plus Fn is 2Fn. And take note, these two you add together, you basically get A plus N minus 1D. Now, if you don't believe me, look at the second one. This is A plus D, right? You plus another A plus N minus 1D. Basically, this is A plus D plus A plus N minus 1 minus 2, right? Now, this minus 2D, right? If you add this to it, you are actually getting N minus 1D, right? So it's a minus 2 plus 1 bracket D, which is N minus 1D. Now you can repeat with the third one. You can see the third one, let's say here, these two add together, you still get 2a plus n minus 1b, and so on until the last one, okay? The third from behind, second from the back, and the last term, let me highlight this way, right? They are all going to give us the same value. Now, the problem is, how many of these do I have? I have 10 of this, because this is your T1, T2, T3, all the way until Tn. So I have n pairs of numbers, right? Okay, so here we can now put together. Maybe I do a bit slower here. I write n in front. This is 2a plus n minus 1b. As I divide by 2, I get n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1. Okay? All right, so this is part A. Right. Okay, part B. Kedai kek Zaki menjual 400 biji kek pada minggu pertama. Pada minggu kedua, jualannya telah merosot sebanyak 8 biji sehingga ke minggu ke-7. Pada minggu berikutnya, kedai itu mengadakan promosi dan jualannya bertambah sebanyak 100% daripada jualan minggu sebelumnya. So, the first thing I have to do is identify my A. Yeah? My first term A, 400. They say merosot sebanyak 8 biji sehingga minggu ke-7. That means your D is -7, it's reducing, right? And okay, let's forget about the 8 week. The 8 week you increase by 100% from the 7 week. We do that later. We calculate the total cake sold in the first 7 weeks. We can use the result from part A, since the question here menggunakan rumus daripada bahagian 8A. So we use S7, which is 7 over 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1 is 6. Okay, maybe I should write this 7 minus 1, 6. D is -7. Use your calculator. Okay, let me just count here. This is 7 over 2. You can write 3.5. Okay, 3.5 bracket 2 times 400 is 800. Then you add 7 minus 1, 6 times -7. This will be 2653, yeah? 2653. Did I count only 6 minus 7? N over 2, 2a plus n minus 2, 6. With us, 6. Sehingga minggu ke-7. 2a, 3.5. 2653. One more time, 7 over 2. Bracket 2a, my a is 400, and minus 1, 7 minus 1 is 6. D, okay, I think I wrote wrong here. My D, my D, 8 biji, -8, sorry. I wonder it looks wrong. So we have to times -8. This will be 2632, 2632. Okay, so this is the first seven weeks. On the, okay, before you find out the number of cakes sold on the 8th week. So let's find out on the 7th week, how many do you have? Okay, maybe I do here about 7 week. We use A plus n minus 1, D is -8. So this is 400. You add 6 times -8, which gives us 352. Okay, so on the 8th week, or minggu ke-8, we take this number, multiply by 2, because they say meningkat 100%, so it's double, 704. Okay, so what is the total or jumlah jualan? We take 2632, we add only the 7, the 8 week. Now don't care about the 7 week, because 7 week we already added here. So we add this up, we get 3336. Yeah, 3336. Okay, question number 9. This from the chapter differentiation, pembezaan. Diberi bahawa persamaan suatu lengkung ialah 2y equals 2x squared plus x plus 1. So, cari persamaan garis normal pada titik 2, 11. Okay, before you find persamaan normal or equation of normal, let's find the gradient of tangent. dy dx differentiate lah, bezakan, you get 4x plus 1. Substitute x with 2. Your dy dx should be 4 times 2 plus 1 This will be 9. Now 9 represents the gradient of tangent, keturunan tangent. So we know tangent times normal is always -1. My gradient of normal is now -1/9. Okay. Now to form equation normal, we can use y minus y1 equals to gradient normal, -1/9. X minus x1, my x1 is 2. You can multiply over or multiply, up to you. So I multiply over 9y minus 99 equals -x plus 2. Okay, 9y is minus x plus 101. You divide by 9, you get -1/9x plus 101 over 2 over 9. There you go. That's your persamaan garis normal. Okay. Now, when it says seterusnya cari nilai titik di mana garis normal menghilang lengkung sekali lagi. So this is your curve. Yeah, it is a curve like this. At the point that touches one point, this is your tangent. Yeah. The line that is perpendicular to tangent is your normal. Your normal will intersect or menyilang your lengkung or your curve again at another point. So we know this point is already to 11. You need to find the coordinate of the second point. So basically, we just form two equations. We have this equation 1, the equation of the curve, and this is equation 2. Now, whether I use this or this doesn't really matter. I call this equation 2. It's easier. I just sub 1 into or gantikan 1 dalam 2. So your y is now 2x squared plus x plus 1. This is -x plus 101. Expand the bracket, 18x squared plus 9x plus 9 equals -x plus 101. The number here is rather bigger. 18x squared plus 10x minus, this is 92. 101 minus 9 is 92. Negative you bring to the left. You can divide by 2, 9x squared plus 5x minus 46 equals 0. Okay, I know the number is a bit big, a bit hard for us to work out what is a combination. You can use your calculator. 9 times 46 is a big number. Shift, factorize. So we work out the combination that gives us 5. So we know 2 times 3 squared, 2 times 9, 18. 18 and 23. 23 minus 18 gives us 5. Okay, so I know one of them must be 18. So I put a 2. In case you don't know, this is 18. This is going to give us 23. Right? So the 18 is minus, 23 is plus. My x is -23/9 or positive 2. Okay, can I take positive 2? No, because 2 is already the coordinate here. I'm taking the second point. So we ignore this, take -23/9. We need to find my y value. We can sub inside any equation. Maybe I sub in, we don't even call this equation 3, doesn't matter, right? So it's easier. My y will be -1/9, -23/9 plus 101/9. So this is 23/81. You positive, yeah? Then you add 101/9. That answer is 932/81. Yeah, 932/81. Just write your coordinate in the form of x followed by your y. There you go. That's your coordinate. Yeah, not a nice looking number. Question number 10. So Raja menunjukkan sebuah lengkung y equals fx dan garis lurus y equals gx. So lengkung y equals fx dan garis lurus y equals gx bertilang di titik O, P, dan Q. So luas kawasan berlawanan A ialah 1/5/12. 1/5/12. Okay. So cari nilai of integration Pengamiran 1 to 0 fx dx. Okay, this is the area we know can be represented by, let me write here, integration 0 to 1. Your x value is 1. Your 2 doesn't affect anything. 2 is your y value. Yeah, 2 is your y value. Okay, so this integration fx dx has, it is your area. It is 1/5/12. But what we are finding is the other way around, integration of 1 to 0, read from bottom to the top. So this is 1 to 0 fx dx. Okay, I hope you remember characteristic of definite integral. Kami tentu, so we have to invert when you interchange the limit. This is negative of 0 to 1 fx dx. And therefore the answer is negative 1, 5 over 12. Okay. Second part. Cari nilai k bagi k if your integration here is now 12. Okay, so I'm going to separate them. I'm going to do one by one. Take out 3. Integration 0 to 1 fx dx minus integration 0 to 1 k dx. The result is 12. So let us substitute the integration 0 to 1 fx dx is this. So we put negative 1, 5 over 12. Then you minus integration of this. This is kx from 0 to 1. The result is 12. Okay, this one you may want to use a calculator. It's hard to see, right? Do you know this is actually negative 17 over 12? But if you can't, you can use this fraction button, shift fraction. This is negative 1, 5 over 12. So whatever I get here, I multiply by 3, right? Okay, by the way, this is positive, no negative, sorry. The negative is for 1 to 0. This is 0 to 1. So it's positive, just ignore the negative, 17 over 4. All right, and let us substitute. So put 1 inside, minus 0 inside. Now, at the same time, you notice I actually took out the k. I took out the k, I put 1 inside, minus, I put 0 inside. Okay, the result equals to 12. So bring over, my k is 17 over 4 minus 12. Very ugly number though. Yeah, 17 over 4. Let me just use this result. 17 over 4. I minus 12. Well, I got 31 over 4. Negative, negative 31 over 4. All right. So this is part. Okay, sorry. This is A Roman 1 actually. This is A Roman 2. Okay, let's look at part B. They say berikan kawasan berlorek diwakili oleh this. So cari persamaan bagi fx. Okay, so here's the thing you need to understand that when you integrate, okay, so well, let me go back and show you the shape. The shape looks like this. This is your integration. Okay, when you integrate y equals fx, you get the shaded region. Your shaded region is integration of fx, right? So when you integrate fx, maybe I write over here, I get this whole function, let's say gx, right? And let's say the limit in this case is 0 to 1. 0 to 1. This is 0 to 1. So integrate fx, you get gx. Differentiate gx, you get back your fx, right? So this entire thing is your gx. I want to find fx. So to find fx, I must differentiate this whole thing, x power 4 over 4 minus 4 over 3x cubed plus 5 over 2x squared, right? Now you don't have to write anything else, yeah? Don't have to write the limit though, right? Differentiate, no limit, yep. When you differentiate x power 4, bring power 4 down, cancel with 4, you get x power 3. Bring the 3 down, cancel with 3, negative 4x. Reduce the power by 1, 2. Bring the 2 down, cancel with 2, left with 5. Copy x, reduce the power by 1, left with 1. So there you go, that's your fx. Yeah, your equation of fx is only one mark, just differentiate will do. Okay, question 11. This is from Pilih, Atur, dan Gabungan, Permutation Combination. Satu pasukan yang mengandungi 6 orang murid akan dibentuk untuk menyertai Carnival STEM peringkat negeri. Penubuhan pasukan tersebut akan dipilih dari 7 orang murid lelaki, 5 orang murid perempuan. So let me write here, 7 orang lelaki, 7 boys. You can write B for boys, and 5 perempuan, 5 G for girls. Okay, so the first part, cari bilangan cara yang berbeza boleh untuk membentuk pasukan itu jika murid perempuan melebihi murid lelaki, more girls than boys, and we have 6 orang murid, 6. So if you have 6 and you have more girls than boys, I must have 4 girls, 2 boys. I can have 5 girls and 1 boy. Can I have 6 girls? No. Why? Maximum five girls only. I can't have 6, right? So the number of ways would be, in this case, 7, 7 laki, I choose 2. Remember, this is case by case. You can say this is case number 1, case number 2. And you're choosing boys and girls at the same time. 7 choose 2, 5 choose 4. Now, then you plus. Why do I plus? Because this is the second case. We take it. First case, we add with the second case. 7 boys, I choose 1. 5 girls, I choose 5. So in these two cases, we have more girls than boys. Okay, 7 choose 2. Oops. 7 choose 2 times 5 choose 4. Then 7 choose 1 times 5 choose 5. Okay, so this will give us 1, 1, 2. Okay, so this is the first part. Second part, sekurang-kurangnya 4 orang murid lelaki. That means at least 4 boys. So in this case, we do the same thing. You can have 4 boys. You can have 5 boys. And in this case, I can only have maximum 6 boys, because why? We are choosing a number murid. 6 people only, 6 only. So this is 2, 1, 0. So that means you can also choose no girls, right? So let me do it here. Number of ways would be 7 choose 4, 5 choose 2, 7 choose 5, 5 choose 1, 7 choose 6, 5 choose 0. Use a calculator. 7 choose 4, 5 choose 2, then 7 choose 5, 5 choose 1, lastly 7 choose 6, 5 choose 0. Now actually 5 C 0 is just 1. You don't have to type, right? My answer is 462. Yeah, 462. Okay, I think the first part combination is quite straightforward, quite easy. All right, second part is very interesting. But this question actually came out in the textbook. Yeah, I remember doing the video recording for the textbook as well. So this is for, maybe we break up into 2 parts. Okay, we have 2 parts here. I want to go, Raja menunjukkan laluan bagi satu objek. Objek itu hanya boleh bergerak ke atas atau ke kanan saja. So bilangan laluan bergerak dari A ke B. Okay, so before you go from A to B, maybe we go from A to C, followed by C to B. Okay, the thing I need to think is this. If I want to go from A to C, right there, first thing I need to understand, I can go 1, 4 units right. Right, 2 units up. So that means the sequence would be, for example, this is B, right, up. Or kanan, atas, up to you. You don't use any notation. Now, you can also do example, right, up, right. So this one's more complicated. Right, up, right. So in all cases, you notice I have to do how many right here? I have to do 4 right and 2 up. But the sequence can be different, right? I can do up, all the right first, or the up first, or combination, whichever. So in this case, you got to think as though we have 6 boxes to arrange. We are arranging the sequence for right and up. But whether you do the right, they're all identical. They're all 1 unit to the right. The up, they're also all identical. They're going 1 unit up, right? So if you were to arrange them without, let's say this is R1, R2, R3, R4, where they are non-identical. So this is up 1, up 2, right? So this will be 6 different ways. That will be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or we say 6 factorial, right? So however, the R here, they are all identical. I'm just going 1 unit to the right. So we're going to divide by 4 identical R. The U, the up, they're all identical. Divide by 2 identical U. Okay, this is just first part. This is from A to C. Then let's do from, let me do it here, C to B. Now let's look at how many boxes you have from C to B. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to the right, 3 up. Now again, you can picture this as your sequence may be, for example, right, up, up. You can do right, up, right, up, right. Yep, 3 up and 4 right. So it doesn't matter, right? Whichever comes first, because you can go like this: up, right, up, sorry, up, right, up, right. Yeah, whichever. Now, so basically we have 7 boxes now, right? So if you don't care about arrangement, it's 7. I mean, if you do care about arrangement, the R1, R2, they're all different. So it's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the number of ways will be 7 factorial divided by 4 identical R, 3 identical U. Okay, so let's count them separately. Let me do separately, show you step by step. 6 factorial. Where's my factorial? Divide by 4 factorial, followed by, oops, this is not factorial, this is factorial, 2 factorial. Actually, 2 factorial is 2. We can just write times 2. There are 15 ways to go from A to C, right? Then we continue. This one is 3 factorial, just change it to 3 factorial. And this is now 7 factorial, right? So this is 35. So second one got 35. So first one, you have 15 ways. Second one, you have 35 ways. The total, okay, is 15 times 35. Yeah, total combination of all, that will be 15 times 35, 525 ways. Yep, very interesting question. But like I said, it's actually in the textbook. Okay, question number 12. This is from probability distribution or taburan Kebarangkalian. So, seorang peserta telah melakukan 3 kali percubaan dalam satu sesi latihan menembak. So, anggapkan H peristiwa kena sasaran, H is hit, H complement, H prime is peristiwa tidak kena sasaran, miss. Lukiskan gambar pokok menunjukkan semua kesudahan. Okay, so to draw a tree diagram, because we are doing 3 times, we start from here. We have hit and miss, H prime. Hit and miss. Hit and miss. Then hit and miss. Hit and miss. Hit and miss. Hit and miss. So this is your first attempt. Okay, this is your second attempt. This is your third attempt, or percubaan pertama, kedua, ketiga. And your outcome or your kesudahan, right? So they say list of the outcome. So you're going to write down what the outcome will be: hit, right? So hit, miss, hit, miss, hit, miss, hit, miss, hit, miss, hit, miss, hit, miss. Okay, so they say showing all the kesudahan, menunjukkan semua kesudahan, you have to show that, all right, all the outcome. And then after that, this is just Roman 1. Jika X mewakili bilangan kali kena sasaran, tunjukkan bahawa X adalah satu pemboleh ubah rawat discrete. So what is discrete random variable or pemboleh ubah rawat discrete? Is the possible solution that you have. How many outcome that you have? Okay, in this case, X is number of times you hit the target, right? Number of times kena sasaran. So let me write down X here in this part. You can see the first one, how many times you hit the target? 3. Second one, 2. Next one, 2. This one you miss twice, you hit once. This one you hit twice. This one you hit once, this one you hit none. All right. So how do you explain, right? How do you show that X is a discrete random variable? You can see from here, your X values are either 0, 1, 2, or 3. Remember, a discrete random variable means they are countable, right? So you can always show here 0, 1, 2, 3. They are countable, right? So we say is the X is a countable quantity. Okay, or in bahasa, you can say X boleh dibilang, quantity yang boleh dibilang. You can count. Yeah. things that you can count, they are discrete. Yeah, no decimal, no fraction, right? Okay, so that is part A. Yeah, interesting. Okay, part B. Let me do part B over here. So X is the boleh ubah rawat binomial dengan bilangan percubaan sebanyak 12 kali dan sistem piawai square root 5/3. Jika X, P ialah kebarangkalian bagi kejayaan, probability of success, cari nilai-nilai mungkin bagi P. So we know that standard deviation is given by square root of NP here. This formula is, yeah, we know it's given. So your standard deviation is square root 5/3. My N is now 12. My P is an unknown. So remember, P plus Q, success and failure is 1. So your Q will be 1 minus P. So let's square both sides, 5/3. This is 12. I expanded that 12P minus 12P square. When you times in is what you get. Multiply over 36P minus 36P square. Rearrange it. Minus 36P plus 5 equals 0. Can we double bracket factorize them? 6P, 6P, 5, and 1. I want to use 30 and this is 30 and 6. 30 plus 6 is 36. So this, they are both negative. So P is either 1/6 or 5/6. Okay, so those are the possible values on nilai P yang mungkin. Okay, let's move on to bahagian B, section B. This is first question 13. This is from the chapter Indexes and Logaritma. Yeah. Okay, so first one, selesaikan persamaan yang berikut. So solve simultaneous equation. This is an initial equation. So I think we can change everything to base 3, right? Let me write over here 3/4x, right? 1/9 is actually 3/2. We know 1/power negative. 9 is 3/2. When you bring up, becomes -2. There's a y minus 1. The result is 81. 81 is 3/4. If you're unsure, you can always use this calculator. Like 81, you just press equals, shift, factorize. You can see it's 3/4. Now, next, let's multiply this bracket together. Multiply inside the y, so it's 3 power minus 2y plus 2. This is 3 to the power 4. So when you multiply the number, we add the power 4x minus 2y plus 2. This is 3/4. Let's compare the power 4x minus 2y plus 2 is now 4. 4x minus 2y is now 2. For me, I think since all these are divisible by 2, I divide by 2. 2x minus y is 1. First equation. Okay, my second equation over here, we can change everything to base 2. 8 is 2/3, right? There's a 2y here. When you divide, it becomes minus, right? And 64 is 2/6. So 3x minus y is now 6. Equation number 2, we can solve them simultaneously by using subtraction. 2 minus 1. 3x minus 2x is 1x. Minus y minus minus y disappear. 6 minus 1x is 5. You just sub in any equation. Equation 1, 2, your x is 5 minus y equals to 1. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 1, y is just 9. Okay, this is just part A. Let's move on to part B. Yeah, B is involving surds. Okay, now Raja menunjukkan segitiga sama kaki ABC. Diberi bawah AB, BA equals BC. That means these two are isosceles, equal length. And M ialah titik tengah bagi AC. So these two must be equal length as well, right? Cari tangent BAC. Okay, tangent BAC means tangent BAM. You're looking for this angle. Okay, first of all, because there are two equal length, my AM should be 4 plus 6 third 5 divided by 2. Can do it mentally. 2 plus 3 third 5. We know the height, we know the opposite. This is your opposite. We know this is your adjacent. Remember, tangent is opposite over adjacent. Okay, 2. So we say tangent BAM, BAC, they are actually the same. we take 3 plus 2 sub 5, divide by 2 plus 3 sub 5. So very simple, we just have to rationalize the denominator. So by multiplying top and bottom with its conjugate, the conjugate of 2 plus 3 is 2 minus 3. Just multiply the opposite. If it's a plus, you multiply with a minus. Okay, so for the top part, you're going to expand one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, let me do one by one. This will be 6 minus 9 third 5 plus 4 third 5 minus 6 third 5 times third 5 is 5 divided by your denominator is, you have to do, you remember to use a plus b, a minus b. When you expand it, it's a squared minus b squared. So your a 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 9 times 5. So 6 minus 30 is negative 24. Then you minus 5 third 5, divide negative 4. This is the 45 minus 4. Sorry, 4 minus 45, negative 41. I think we can simplify them. Divide top and bottom with negative, right? So I will get this. See, your answer must be given in this format. All right, so yeah, 24 plus 5 third 5 over 41. Okay, question number 14. This is from circular measures, Sukatan, Membulat. This question I've seen before, exactly the same question from one of the past year question in IGCSE examination. Okay, so Raja menunjukkan sebuah taman berbentuk sektor AOB bagi sebuah bulatan dengan pusat O jari dan sudut sektor masing-masing ialah R dan 2 theta. You can see here, this is R and this is 2 theta. Alright, dalam taman itu satu tapak berbentuk bulat ditanam dengan bunga ros. This is bunga ros, here. So diberi jejari tapak ialah R. So maybe I put here the jejari tapak. This one is R. Okay, small r. Okay. Tunjuk bahwa big R is small r bracket 1 plus 1 over sin theta. Okay, so number one, you need to know that if this is a tangent, this is a 90 degree. When the line is a tangent to a circle, it's perpendicular to the center of the circle. Now, number two, I want to connect this line so you can see that this will be your small r, right? And this is a bisector, so you have it, this angle here is the angular bisector, this angle is theta. The length from here to here, because we know the whole thing is r, this would be big R minus small r. Yeah, how we can see that the top to the bottom is big R. So from these 2 points is big R minus small r. So let's use Soka or Tua. In this case, we use sine, right? Here the question already given you sine. Sine is your opposite. This is your opposite. Divide by your hypotenuse, right? So we say sine theta is R divided by R, big R minus small r. Remember, I'm finding big R, so I'm going to multiply this over R sin theta minus small r times sin theta. Or better yet, can we switch the whole thing up? It's easier to do it this way. Then you bring the R, small r over, big R is now small r plus small r over sin theta. We're almost there. Just have to factorize it. 1 plus 1 over sin theta. There you go. You've proven that big R is equal to small r plus 1 over sin theta. All right. Next. Okay, we're going to use this result. Diberi bahwa theta equals 30 degree. Cari di bahagian taman yang ditanam dengan bunga ros. Okay, the whole taman, right? The entire taman is the whole sector. The small taman, the small area planted with rose is this, right? The yellow part. Okay, so first of all, we know that the area of your rose divided by the whole thing, whole taman. I'm going to call it, it's called the garden. The whole garden. Yeah, you can use Bahasa English, doesn't matter. The area planted with the rose is a circle, pi r squared. The area planted, the whole area of the garden is a sector of a circle, half r squared theta. My theta, in this case, you can see it's 2 theta. And here is the question said theta is 30. So 2 theta is 60. But your 60, remember, you got to convert to radian with times with pi over 180. So this is pi r squared. This is half. At the same time, oh, perhaps I should substitute here. Your big R is now, okay, this is Roman, this part here, this part B. I need to perhaps do this first. Small r 1 plus 1 over sine 30. Now, we know sine 30 is half. So you can use your calculator if you're unsure. You just type in 1 plus 1 over sine 30. You should get 3. Yeah, answer 3r here. Take this and sub inside 3r squared. 60 over 180 is pi over 3. This one you can simplify. This is 3 and 3 can cancel one of them. Now I can cancel pi and pi. So this one 3 squared is 9, cancel is 3 over 2. Okay, let me move this down a little bit. Instead of C, this is r squared. This will be 3 over 2 r squared. You cancel your r and your r squared and r squared. Flip it up. Your ratio will be 2 over 3. So ratio of the nisbah bagian taman, tanam dengan bunga rose, to your whole garden, right, is 2 is to 3, or 2 over 3. Yeah? Okay. Now, seterusnya, hitung panjang pagar yang diperlukan untuk memagari keseluruhan kawasan Blore. If your big R is now 15, your kawasan Blore is here. Okay, maybe I rub this off. I want you to see that you can actually join this together. If this is 60, right? This should be 120. They are both 90 here. And we are finding the pagar. Pagar means this length add with this length and this length. Okay, for the triangle side, right? Let me redraw your triangle over here. It's hard to see, right? Yeah, let me redraw a triangle over here, then I'll move down. So this is part C. We know the length from your radius is, your big R is 15. If your big R is 15, your small r is 5. So this is 5. And remember just now, the big R is 15. This is 5. 15 minus 5, this length is 10, right? So we say the length from here to here, this is 10. This is your O. You can call this as any other symbol here. I can call it P and Q, right? This is P. This is Q. I need to find OQ. My OQ is 10 square minus 5 square square root. 5 square root, 10 square 100. 100 minus 25 square root 75. So the length from here to here is square root 75. So notice this square root 75. This also square root 75. You just have to find the length of R to find the total length of the fence required. Okay, we know this is 120, yeah, because this is, if you don't know, don't believe me, 360 minus 90 times 2 minus 60 is 120, yeah. Okay, so we take your area, your perimeter of the garden, or the area, or should I say panjang pagar, length if you want. Basically the perimeter is 2 times or 75 plus r theta. And your r is small r here, guys. Your r is a small r here, which is 5. Your theta is 120. So we take 520 times pi over 180. Yeah? Please use 3.142. Normally that's the case that we use 3.142. So 2 15 75 plus 5 times 120 times 3.142 over 180. And there you go. My answer is 27.79. 27.79. So that's the length, the wire, the unit is in meter, length of your fence, panjang pagar. Okay, last question from the chapter Trigonometry, Fungsi, trigonometric function, Fungsi trigonometry. So we're given diberi cos 20 is H, sin 48 is G. Ungkapkan sin 68 dalam sebutan H of K. So let's draw two triangles. The first triangle is 20 degrees. cos is the ratio of adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is h, hypotenuse is 1, square root 1 minus h squared. Right? I'm using Pythagoras theorem here. Sine 48 is g. So let me draw a triangle like this. This is 48. Sine is the ratio of opposite divided by hypotenuse, square root 1 minus g squared. So you're supposed to express or ungkapkan sine 68 dalam sebutan h and g. Okay, yeah? So here we have to use the addition formula. Yeah, rumus sudut majmuk. Yeah, in bahasa. So we say sine 68. You can see 68 is a combination of 20 and 48, which is sine 20 plus 48. Okay, so when we expand, this is sine 20 cos 48 plus cos 20 sine 48, sine cos, cos sine. Okay, what is sine 20? Well, we can refer to this, the triangle. Sine is a ratio of opposite over hypotenuse. Yeah. So 1 minus h squared over 1. Cos is a ratio of adjacent, excuse me, over hypotenuse. So then you plus cos 20. Cos 20 is h over 1. Actually, you don't have right over 1. Sine 48 is g over 1. So we can just put them together. Now, whether you want to put them together as a single square root or separate square root, doesn't matter. There you go. That is your sine 68. Okay, part B I'm going to do it here. Selesai persamaan 4 cotangent 4 cosecant square equals to 2. So here I'm using English, but if you want to use bahasa, it doesn't matter. So cotangent, what is the relationship between cotangent and cosecant? We know that from the basic idea, okay, 1 plus cotangent square theta is cosecant square theta. Right? So we will have to change your cosecant square to cotangent. So we keep your cotangent, cosecant replaced with 1 plus cotangent square. This formula is given in exam. The result is 2. So 4 cotangent square theta minus 1 minus cotangent square equals to 2. 4 minus 1 is 3. Bring over. The good news is very simple. This one, when you minus, you get 1, right? Cotangent square is 1. Then we change this to tangent. Remember, tangent is 1 over cotangent. When you invert it, this is still 1. And when you square root it, you put a plus minus 1. Just use your calculator, find your reference angle. This is in degree, so no problem. Shift tangent 1, 45. Yeah, 45 is the first answer. But because tangent is positive in quadrant 1, quadrant 3, the negative in quadrant 2, quadrant 4. Because we have plus minus, we will consider all 4 answers, right? The next answer is 180 minus 45, 180 plus 45, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4 is 360 minus 45. So we get 45, 135, 225, and 315. Yeah, 4 answers. All right. Well, we've got one more to go. Part C. Degree bubble theta is 30 degree. Tunjukkan bubble cos theta over 2 is this. Okay, so number one, this one you have to use we call it the half angle formula. Well, although in exam they gave us this cos 2a, we can just modify it from the second formula. I know I've used the second formula because this is cos. If cos 2a, remember there are 3 formulas. If you're finding cos, we use the second formula. If you're finding psi, we use the third formula. If you're finding tangent, we use the tangent formula, right? So this is 2 cos square a minus 1. So basically, we just let my 2a becomes theta. Then my a is now theta over 2. My cos theta is 2 cos square theta over 2 minus 1. They say theta is now 30, right? So this is cos 30. This is 2 cos square theta over 2 minus 1. Now, cos 30 is a special angle. We can actually use a calculator and type this, yeah. Those who don't have calculator, then you use a triangle method, right? Yeah, but it's not to say very difficult, because if you just remember sine 30, you can find the rest. Like sine 30, even if you use the older version calculator, 350 or 570, the old version, you still get half. That means this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Then I can just read cos 30 from here, yeah, which is 3 over 2. 2 cos squared theta over 2 minus 1. So this minus 1 I bring to the left-hand side, right? I'll get 3 over 2 plus 1 equals to cos squared theta over 2. Now, let me combine them first. When I combine this, basically, I put them together as a single fraction of 2 times 1 12 over 2. Then I divide it. It becomes 2 over 3. But you look at this, the final answer, they put the 2 in front, 3 at the back. So maybe I just put the 2 in front, 3 at the back, square root it. Okay, sorry, I'm doing too fast here. This is over 4. Okay, lastly, just divide. Take the square root of this, right? Square root of this cos theta over 2 is therefore square root. Wait, yeah, I made a mistake here. This one is a plus, plus 2 plus 3 over 2. There you go. I got this answer. Do you need to put a plus minus? No need, because this is the positive value. If cos 30 is positive, cos 30 over 2, 30 over 2 is 15, definitely is positive, right? Yep, there you go. That's your answer. Okay, I'm done with the discussion of this paper. Thank you so much. Hope you learned something in the process. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.